All right, lock your doors, dim the lights, plug in your headphones, because today we are ranking the 6 best survival horror games ever made. The genre is having its best decade in 20 years. Capcom is on a Resident Evil remake hot streak that won't quit. Konami finally let Silent Hill out of the basement. Dead Space came back from the dead, and an entire generation of indie horror games discovered that VR plus a flashlight equals printing money. So I had to make some calls. No Outlast, no Amnesia, no Visage. I love them. You can yell at me. The cut is the cut. We're looking at scares, atmosphere, mechanics, replayability, and whether I would actually start a second playthrough after the credits roll. This list starts with a multiplayer ghost hunting phenomenon and ends with a remake that finally answered a 22-year-old question. Number 1 is going to upset somebody. Let's get into it. Number 6, Phasmophobia. The multiplayer ghost hunting game that started as a janky early access experiment in 2020 and is now the most played horror game on Steam. You and up to 3 friends grab a flashlight, a thermometer, a spirit box, a video camera, and a Ouija board, and you get dropped into a haunted location to identify what kind of ghost is killing you. There are dozens of ghost types, each with their own behaviors and weaknesses, and figuring out which one you're dealing with before it murders your entire team is the actual puzzle. The game uses voice recognition. You can yell the ghost's name and it will hear you. You can ask it questions through the spirit box and it will, on occasion, answer. The dev studio Kinetic Games is one guy, and they've been pushing updates for 5 years straight, adding new maps, new ghosts, new cursed items, and a full VR mode. $15. The amount of pure terror it generates per dollar is unmatched. Get 3 friends. Turn the lights off. Try not to scream. Number 5, Alien Isolation. 2014. Creative Assembly. The game that took the Alien franchise back to its body horror roots after years of mediocre shooters. You play Amanda Ripley, daughter of Ellen, trapped on a derelict space station with one xenomorph, an actual learning AI that hunts you for 15 hours. You cannot kill it. You can barely slow it down. Your only weapons are a motion tracker, a wrench, a flamethrower with maybe 10 seconds of fuel, and your own ability to hide under a desk and breathe quietly. The atmosphere is suffocating. The 70s retro-futuristic art direction is unmatched. The sound design is genuinely the best in the entire genre, and the alien itself learns from you. If you keep hiding in lockers, it starts checking lockers. If you keep using your motion tracker, it starts hearing it. There are people who quit this game 3 hours in and never finished it. And there are people like me who consider it the most replayed horror game of the past decade. $40 usually, 10 or 15 on sale. The genre's high watermark for atmosphere. Number 4, Dead Space, the remake. EA Motive resurrected one of the all-time greats of the genre and made the rare remake that genuinely beats the original. It is the same story, Isaac Clarke on the USG Ishimura, a mining ship infested with reanimated corpses called necromorphs. But every system has been rebuilt for 2023. The ship is now one continuous space with 0 loading screens. Isaac is fully voiced this time, which sounds like it would ruin the original silent protagonist horror, but actually deepens it. The lighting and sound design are honestly some of the best in any game shipped this decade. Necromorphs still die only when you strategically dismember their limbs. The plasma cutter is still the perfect horror game weapon, and the new Intensity Director system makes every playthrough genuinely different. The audio logs flesh out the lore in ways the original couldn't. There's a hidden alternate ending. There's a new game plus mode with secret content. $60. If you have never played the original, start here. If you have played the original, this is the version you remember it being. Pure cosmic horror. Number 3, Resident Evil 2 Remake. 2019. The remake that proved Capcom could resurrect dead franchises and make them better than they ever were. Raccoon City is in the middle of a zombie outbreak. You play either Leon Kennedy, rookie cop on his first day, or Claire Redfield, looking for her missing brother, and the 2 campaigns interweave. The police station is one of the most thoughtfully designed maps in any game, period. Every locked door becomes a future puzzle. Every safe code is hidden in the environment. Every save room is a brief moment of relief before you step back out and Mr. X, the unstoppable 7-foot tyrant in a fedora, starts walking after you again. RE2 also basically invented the modern over-the-shoulder horror camera that every game in the genre now uses. The Mr. X stalker mechanic was so good it became the template every horror game has copied since. $40. Both campaigns. Endless replay value. The game that put Capcom back on top after 20 years of being lost. Honestly, the highest quality remake of any video game ever made, in my opinion. Number 2, Resident Evil 4 Remake. The remake of the most influential third-person action game of all time, and somehow it is, by every meaningful measure, better than the 2005 original. The original RE4 invented the modern, over-the-shoulder shooter. It defined a generation. is, on its own, untouchable. And yet, the remake takes Leon's mission to a Spanish village to rescue the president's daughter Ashley and rebuilds every system. The combat is faster, the knife now has durability and parries, the village siege has been reimagined, the castle has more puzzles, the island section, which everybody hated in the original, is now genuinely good. Ashley is no longer an escort mission joke. She's an actual character. Luis is a fully fleshed-out partner. The merchant is back. Leon's one-liners are back. The mercenaries mode is back. The Separate Ways DLC is back. And the entire thing runs gorgeously. $60 for the base, $10 for Separate Ways. If you have to pick one Capcom remake to play, pick this one. The genre's perfect action-horror balance, 20 years later, somehow improved on. Number 1. Silent Hill 2 Remake by Bloober Team. The remake that nobody believed would work until it actually shipped and quietly became one of the best horror games ever made. Silent Hill 2, the original from 2001, is widely considered the greatest psychological horror game ever made. The story of James Sunderland, a widower who received a letter from his dead wife asking him to meet her in the abandoned town of Silent Hill, is one of the most quietly devastating narratives in any medium. Bloober Team had a complicated history with horror games. Fans were terrified they'd butcher it. They didn't. They preserved every emotional beat of the original, expanded the combat, redesigned the puzzles, rebuilt every environment from the ground up, and somehow made the fog hit harder than it did in 2001. Pyramid Head is back. The mannequins are back. The lying figures and the abstract daddies and Eddie and Angela Maria are all back, and every one of them is more horrifying in 2024 than they were in 2001. The soundtrack by Akira Yamaoka is somehow better. The ending hits. $70. The greatest survival horror game ever made. Number 1. Don't argue. Drop your favorite horror game in the comments and we'll fight. Alright, that's the 6. I already know somebody is mad. I put RE2 below RE4. Somebody is mad Alien Isolation isn't at 1. Somebody is mad Outlast Trials, or Amnesia, or Visage, or Phasmophobia rivals aren't on the list. Tell me in the comments. What is the horror game that genuinely scared you so badly you stopped playing? What is the one that should have been on this list? And if you're a Silent Hill purist who thinks the original is better than the remake, I want to hear you argue it. I read all of them. New countdown next week, different genre, same vibe. Like the video if it helped, subscribe for more, drink some water, leave the light on, and I will see you in the very next one.